Ladies and gentlemen, follow me as we journey through the center of Manhattan and into the heart of Brooklyn. Follow me as we traverse the human experience, as we zigzag our way through the social norms that divulge our society. Welcome to Zogo TV.
We always hear the same things. Where I'm from, this is what we say about other people. Where other people are from, this is what they say about how we are where I'm from. But I ask myself, what really is the truth? Are people really so easy that we can determine how they are based on where they're from and who they are? Or are people more complex? Come find out with me. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am pleased to inform everybody that today I'm joined by the President of the United States of America. Mr. President, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sir?
I'm amazing today. Mr. President, I thank you for taking time from your very busy schedule to answer some of the questions that I have prepared for you.
Well, that's fine. Whatever you need, sir.
Awesome. Now, Mr. President, as a man leading a nation, I'm sure that you are aware of things of the nature of stereotypes, are you not?
Of course.
Now, what ethnic group do you belong to?
Well, I'm Caucasian. My mother was from Scotland, as you know.
Yeah.
And my father goes back to Germany. You know, the Third Reich. Germany.
Oh, yes, Germany. I'm sorry. He meant to say the third reign of the Chancellor.
Right.
Yes. Now, what stereotypes have you heard about your ethnic group?
Well, what do they say about us Scots, you mean?
Sure.
Well, we're accused of being very frugal with money, as you may have heard once or twice.
Frugal with money?
Yes, very frugal. I knew a man who was Irish and Scotch,
Yeah.
and he loved to drink and he hated to pay for it, so that gives you an idea of how they feel about money.
I want to know a little bit about the German side of the family.
Well,
What comes from there?
a good feeling of what mankind should be, because we know what mankind should be,
What is that?
like the rest of us in Germany.
Like the rest of you in Germany. All right, so what stereotypes would you say that you've heard about, let's say, for example, other races other than your own?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I hear nothing. I love all people.
All people? Now, you love every race that the good Lord has created.
Absolutely. I just love
Blacks.
some more than others.
You love some more than others? Well, I cannot be angry with you for being a man of bias. Well, thank you so much, Mr. President. It was an honor to have you, and thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have more coming for you.
There goes the sexy black guy. Take two and action. Face cut. Go now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is take two. I have Latrell with me. We are in Times Square today, in the center of the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I have to yell because over there are fountains and they look beautiful. I have two very interesting human beings with me and their beautiful dogs. Hi, may I have your name? Katrina and Sean. Hi. Right next to me today, I have my brother. Not in the sense that we have the same mother and father, but in the sense that we are both originated from Africa. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
What is your name?
My name is Sebastian Moa.
Sebastian. Great name. Coming to you from Brooklyn, I have two very interesting individuals next to me today, and they have very interesting stories to tell. Could you please introduce yourself? How are you?
Hi, I'm good. My name is Dominique Shelley from Los Angeles.
up? My name is Kiba Perez from Brooklyn, New York.
With me today, I have another very curious case. How are you?
Yeah.
Can you please? Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. She's not a mess. To shake your hand. Can you please tell us what your name is?
My name is Shell.
And where are you from?
Japan.
Japan. Myra. Can I have your name, please? Johnny. Johnny. Now, Myra and Johnny, you guys a couple? Oh, siblings. I am so sorry. Good Lord. You know, frankly, I've seen so many couples today. Every time I see two people together, I assume that they're a couple because I've seen so many couples. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with former Sergeant Michael Bellacino, a hero of the United States. He served our country in Iraq, and now he's going to tell us his story on service. Sergeant, thank you for your service to the American people. Sir. Now, I have a question. Before you entered your active duty, can you please tell me, were there any stereotypes about the people in Iraq that you heard of? Certain things that you were told that you expected of them as people?
No, sir, not whatsoever.
Not whatsoever?
No stereotypes whatsoever, no. I perceived the Muslim community as, I never even noticed them, to be honest with you, before 9/11.
Really?
Yes, sir. I went to high school, and I graduated. Then the summer passed, and our towers went down. And I took it upon myself to join the service right after the towers fell. But I never perceived the Iraqis or the Muslim community any stereotypical.
So when you entered the country for the first time and you're met with these new people who live a very different kind of lifestyle than you do, what was your impression?
What was my impression?
Yes.
My impression when I first got into the country was I thought they were very poor.
Yeah.
Extremely poor, but very kind-hearted, meaning they were willing to give their shirts off their back to us. Very poor, very low in hygiene, water, sewage dumps out in the streets, mud adobes they lived in, and
would you say that that's people from Iraq specifically, or Muslims in general?
I was in Kurdistan, Kurds. Muslims, yes, Iraqis, the Kurds, Turks, running Kirkuk in Kurdistan, northern Iraq. That's where I was stationed, where 5,000 Kurds got gassed by Saddam. Very poor, extremely poor. We had kids running up to us, begging us for food and water.
Yeah.
When we first got into the country.
Michael, thank you so very much. And again, thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, every time you look on the news, every time you see something happen, you're given a narrative of the kind of person that committed certain acts. You're given a narrative of the kind of person that people can be. Today, Sergeant Bellacino has given us a new narrative, a new way of seeing the human experience. Thank you. Latrell, you're a performer, are you not? Yes. Now, I have to ask you, what ethnic group do you belong to?
That was the second show. Originally, I'm Cherokee.
Amazing. I would have never guessed that, because I make assumptions. I'm one of those judge the apple kind of people,
You'd be surprised how many different ethnic groups come here to enjoy the same thing and still have the same stereotypes and mindsets. Well, a lot of people don't know too many tribes. They don't know that there's so many very diverse. So usually people before they actually do that, they never guess that. But due to the little bit of knowledge a lot of people have on it, I haven't gotten too many things, which is, I guess you could say, it's a good thing. But one thing I've definitely gotten was the whole Indian thing. They think we're from India. We have like the I wouldn't say rich rituals, but we have the traditions. A lot of people think that we have those things, and it's actually very different. We come from a whole different culture, a whole different side. Our islands are different. Like I said, it's a lot of things. So, like you said, I am a performer. I'm a professional busker. So me being in Times Square, a diverse city, you do hear a lot of different stereotypes. You see a lot of different characteristics, a lot of different vibes. One thing I will say, there's always the white and black stereotype. There's always that. You probably see that the most anyway. And that's one thing you definitely see a lot. A lot of people are scared of it. They're kind of hesitant when approached. A lot of them don't even know if we speak the same language as them. They're just quick to like.
You want me to take my clothes off now, or want to get together?
It's a little overwhelming at times. It can frustrate you, especially when you're just minding your business or just trying to sell something or promote what you do, like I said, in the dances. So it gets frustrating. It gets under your skin a lot. Well, I'm someone that haven't left the country yet. So I would definitely say being in the center of the universe. Surprisingly, this is the closest I've gotten to out the country. So I honestly would say it's based off of where you're from or how you were raised or who you were raised around. Because I can't put the numbers together. I can't put the statistics in front of me. But I definitely can say that there's been a lot of Caucasian people that have been very welcome about it, especially when you start performing or entertaining. And then there's the same equal number of the opposite side. People that are just judgmental and a little pushy, and they just want to like, leave me alone, I don't trust you guys. So it varies.
Where are you from?
I'm from Cameroon.
And what ethnic group would you say that you belong to?
I belong to one ethnic group back home. We call it the Bamileke. Is that people who are from my ethnic group are stingy? Yeah. That people who are from my ethnic group are successful economically. Yeah, and that people from my ethnic group are traditional. You know, they don't want to accept modernization, and so they stick to tradition more. No, they're not really, because looking at the world in which we live today, we are in the 21st century where it is dominated by technology and scientific development. You know, I can't really say that it's true, because you know there are people from my clan who have traveled to the United States just like myself. They are all over Canada, all over the world, and they have embraced Western civilization. So I think it's not true. For instance, like where I'm coming from, we have over 260 ethnic groups in my country, and the stereotypes I've heard. It's like there's some groups, like they call them in my country, they're Bayangias. They say the ladies there are not faithful. Yeah, there's another group they call it Bali. They say the ladies there are not also faithful. Yeah. So which is a stereotype, I think.
Katrina and Sean. Now, Katrina and Sean, I don't know how to say this. There's no easy way to say this. When I look at you guys, and I mean no disrespect, I don't see Katrina and Sean. You know, my name is Manny, and I'm sure when a lot of people think of me, they probably don't think Manny. Now, I want to ask you guys, where are you guys from? Ethnically.
My family background is Filipino.
And I'm Chinese. And you're Chinese. Filipino and Chinese. What's that? What's that like? Do people ever confuse you? Do they say that you're Chinese, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Does that ever offend you?
No, I'm kind of used to it.
It's interesting, you know. Every time I ask someone if it offends them, they're always like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not offended by it. I'm used to it."
No. I work with a lot of Chinese people, so I would say it's, if anything, we are like the majority minority.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
So.
And I'm sorry, where do you work?
I work for myself.
You work for yourself. Oh, well, you know, I'd ask you about stereotypes in the work environment, but
there's only one person there.
There's only one person. Unless you have stereotypes against yourself, I don't know about. Do you guys love rice? Yes? Do all Dominicans love rice?
Yeah, I like it.
Yes? With beans? Oh my goodness. I'm hearing different things.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. It's like,
they come fresh off the boat. Sometimes they think that we don't know how to speak the language properly. They probably they dress a certain way. They have they think we're just into smoking stuff, and it's kind of like a weird stereotype. And sometimes it's in the community itself. Like the Dominicans expect you to act a certain way, and if you don't act that way, you're either being white or you're not being Dominican, and you're like, what does that really mean?
That's very interesting. So there are stereotypes within the Dominican community about people who come directly from the Dominican Republic.
It's not just come, it's just how they expect you to act. You gotta act a certain way. You gotta represent the culture exactly how they do it. So if you don't follow the customs that they have, you're trying to be something that you're not. But then it's what are we really supposed to be? It's one of those things.
And some of the stereotypes are ways of being that they think that you should be. Mm-hmm. Would you say that any of those would be something that you would consider atypical of a Dominican person?
Yeah, no, it's they're not always bad, and they're not always good either. It's just hard when people try to put you in a box of how you should act. And it's
do you have any good ones that you could tell us?
I mean, culture-wise, the food is good, the stuff that we eat, all that stuff is pretty good and stuff like that. I think the food is good.
I think the food is good too.
Yeah.
I had something called mango. Oh, oh my goodness. I think God designed it himself. You already know. I think God designed it himself, and he sent the recipe down to someone on earth. I don't know who. Mass distributed it, and now everyone's eating it, including myself. I can enjoy, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah, when last time I was over there, they told me where you from? You from New York? I'm yeah. And over there I wasn't. I didn't fit in over there. Then over here is also oh, you're Dominican. You know what I mean?
The ethnic group that I identify with, I'm black. That's what I am. I mean, when I get really technical, my mom is Cape Verdean and Puerto Rican, and my dad is Mexican.
Right. So I guess we're going to stick to the general.
Black people play basketball.
Yeah, actually, no, I suck at basketball. I'm terrible.
I can't. I thought you were over there shooting those 3-pointers. No.
No, I was out there throwing those air balls. I'm terrible.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What's up, man? It's your boy Kate Kiva. I'm black as well. If you want to get technical, I'm Dominican. Stereotype is that we all eat plátanos. You feel me? That's not true, although a lot of us do.
So you're Dominican.
True. I'm Dominican, but
I have a question. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Do you like rice?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I can't eat it every day.
You can't eat it every day.
I can't.
That is not what I heard. Because, just interjecting a little bit, that's a stereotype that I've heard about Dominican people. And I've heard it from Dominicans themselves that all Dominicans love rice.
Yeah, a lot of them do, but I feel like just because it's a big percentage doesn't mean it's everybody. It's the same thing with being black and playing basketball. Just because it's such a big percentage, it doesn't mean that everybody is included in that. I feel like it all depends on where you were raised. Yeah. Who raised you, your surroundings, and that's how you become who you are. Who you surround yourself with, and what your traditions are. I could have been raised with a completely different family. Let's say I was raised with a Japanese family, I would not be speaking English.
No, you would not.
If I was raised in Brooklyn.
I think another stereotype that I've heard is, that black people have superpowers, because the majority have superpowers. So that's why, when it comes down to sports and stuff, there's all these stereotypes that derive from there. But that's just, I don't know. What about you?
Well, personally, me, I actually grew up in Africa, so there are a lot of stereotypes that I had to become accustomed to, right? But in America, when I came here, a lot of people asked me, if on the street I walked with, elephants and lions and tigers and stuff. If Tarzan was my uncle, they asked me if I wore shoes, if I had a home, if I had cars. And naturally, I was very, that made me really angry, but now, frankly, I think I was really amused. I should have said, yes, I do know Tarzan, he's my uncle.
Right, right.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Just because it's a big percentage doesn't mean that it's everybody. Tell us what your name is.
My name is Shell.
Okay, where are you from?
Japan.
Japan. What's that like? What's it like being from Japan? I've always wanted to go to Japan.
It's difficult, but like it's very unique. You know, like so many like interesting culture going on.
Really, seems like an amazing place. You know what? I heard that Japanese people sleep at work, and it's a good thing. Is that true? That's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's true. Oh my goodness! I didn't think that was true. I thought that was a lie.
Yeah.
But you know what I love about Japan is Japanese toilets.
Okay.
I would say are the best kind of toilets. Amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like I would say like Korean, they have like kind of like similar, you know, culture.
Really?
Yeah, to us like Japanese. I actually lived in Paris 1 year.
Really?
Yeah. I would say French.
Have you ever gotten confused for being a Chinese person?
Yeah, often like Chinese and Korean and Japanese.
Do you find that offensive when someone thinks that you're Chinese?
No, I love Chinese.
Oh.
Yeah, I love it. Like different aesthetic, but
Really?
like, kind of like similar.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you so much. We're going to give a fist bump. I feel like that's
Thank you.
easier.
Thank
All
you.
right, well, thank you so much. And well, what can I say? You heard it from me.
Alright, so, Manny was getting ready to walk away, but his presence was so strong. I forgot that I had one question for Manny. So, when people ask you about your race or your ethnic background, do you say that you're black or do you say you're African?
Well, if people ask me where I'm from, I tell them that I was born in Ethiopia. If they ask me about my ethnic group, I always say that I'm black. Some people like to put a differentiation between African Americans and people who live in Africa. Black people live in Africa, and black people in other parts of the world. To me, when somebody is black, they're black. They could be from a different country, but at the end of the day, black people originate from Africa. Yeah, so I'm black. Not some kind of special black. I'm just as black as the next black person.
Are you not curious where mankind is going? Are you not curious as to where this path of ambition and sacrifice is going to lead him? Is the human mind and the human character so simplistic that you can determine what kind of person I am or you are or somebody else is just by where they are from or where they belong? What do you think? Leave something in the comment section. Leave it a little like. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a conversation